Hello everyone, we have some kitchen gadgets suggested by you that we're going to get in front of our chef Ben and our normal Jamie. Let's see if they'll blow their minds or they'll blow their tops. Number 1, give it a lift.
What we got, Jay?
Oh, we have an egg timer style jar. It is an egg timer, surely. It's a sand.
I think I know what this is, and there is one pet peeve that I have that winds me and so many other chefs up, and I think this might solve it.
Now, I've got to say this carefully. What do we finger of Ebba's that he gets most irate about?
Most irate.
Pickles.
100% correct.
Deep looking. Get your fingers in. That's the best way.
Fingers in it.
That's the best way to do it.
Cutlery on the side.
Yeah!
I don't finger the pickles.
Pickles. How are you going to get the pickles out?
Yeah! Finger them!
So many people have fingered that jar.
This is the White Rhino Hourglass Pickle Jar. This provides pickle lovers with the solution to handling wet pickles. Flip the jar and temporarily drain the pickle liquid from the main chamber, allowing easy, mess-free picking. Once picked, close the lid and flip to restore the pickle liquid back to resubmerge the pickles.
It's not going to stop me fingering them, though.
No, but the issue I have is that if you've got pickles, if they've been salted and pickled properly, they should still have that lovely crunch to them. When you put your fingers, which are covered in yeast and other bacteria, in, it changes the vinegar activity and basically you end up with a soggy pickle, and no one wants a floppy soggy pickle because you fingered it.
Okay.
I've seen it, and at the time I thought, oh, that's a bit over-engineered. However, having seen all of you guys
do the burger challenge,
dip your didge into our pickled goods, I think this could be the solution.
Would you like to test it?
Yes,
let's
please.
give it a go.
We want to make sure that this is accessible to all, so you have long halved pickles and small gherkins.
This could go very wrong. So you've bought yourself a jar of pickles, or you've made your own. You've filled them. And they store in your pantry. Like that.
We now have fully submerged pickles.
And they live in your pantry as crispy as anything until you want one.
In an initial test, how are you finding it?
I like it. It's simple, there's nothing to go wrong, it's easy clean. There's detachable bits that are silicone, which means you can turn it over and it doesn't slide on your table.
So it's BPA free, it's a food grade plastic lid, it's lead free, and the glass is food grade. Claims to be leak proof, but works with other items such as olives, pickles, or cherries.
Anything you want
Anything,
submerged.
yeah.
You keep saying how much you love it, but you also have the other solution, which is use a fork, which everyone has.
Correct.
Or don't care.
No, you do have to care, because otherwise you end up with non-crunchy pickles. If you've gone to the effort of nurturing them for months, the last thing you want is to come to it in 2 months' time and for it to be mushy.
I agree. So when you have guests around, give them a fork.
So I think, Mike, this is the perfect solution in the studio when I know that you normals don't have the discipline to fork it.
Do you
He's
think...
so passionate about it as well.
It's
like the
having
problem.
It's like having a gate at the top of the stairs for a child. Until that child has learned that falling down the stairs hurts, you have to put something as a barrier to stop that child from hurting themselves.
Do you know, I genuinely
finger the
didn't know that it makes a worse product. I thought it was a hygiene thing, and therefore I was like, we're all friends. But actually now knowing it affects, I won't do that.
Could lead to food waste, and we know how important that is. It's fine. Yeah. He's just pulling out the food waste card. I do agree, though, you're not necessarily going to buy 6 of these for your pantry.
Should we talk price? How much do you think this retails for?
£9.99.
£8.99.
This is £21.99.
That's a lot of pickles you've got to get through.
That's an awful lot for a problem that I don't think really exists.
Really don't have to wind me up. It's absolutely a problem that exists. I think actually we just need better worldwide education about fingering as opposed to £22 jars.
So the White Rhino Hourglass Pickle Jar, does it tickle your pickle or is it a jar too far?
It's a jar too far, Michael.
It's 100% both of those things. My pickle was tickled, but it's definitely a jar too far.
My pickle was tickled. Excellent, let's move on to number 2.
We've solved some of the world's problems.
Yep, well, you wait. More of your problems are about to be solved now, Ebbers. Lift the cloche on number 2.
We've all been to the food expos.
There we go.
Yeah.
This is the updated version of the Mexican milk frother, right?
It is like the Mexican hot chocolate milk frother.
What problem do you think this solves?
I imagine it would froth a lot of things. They probably sell it as egg white or cream.
This is the Wizzy Whisk Pro. The Wizzy Whisk Pro is the big brother of the original Wizzy Whisk. Easy to use with minimal effort, just push the whisk up and down and the whisk head spins. Great for egg whites, for your meringues, omelettes, lattes, cappuccinos, mayonnaise, gravy, salad dressings, batter mixes, cake mixes, and no more lumpy custard.
At least from that description, we know that as soon as we get cancelled, we can get jobs on QVC.
100%.
Yeah.
Where
does it go? Where does it go?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Where does it go?
It retracts into here.
Into there?
Which is why it's not going to go into there, is it? It's like
It's a straight line. Where does it go?
Where does it go?
the only thing I do think is important with these things is you need a suitable vessel in which to Wizzy whisk.
Yes.
Tall and thin is better.
Yeah.
So we have some egg whites and some powdered sugar for you to knock up a meringue. We also have double cream, some vanilla if you want to knock up something to stiff peaks.
I tell you what, it's quick. I think we're there. Do you want to sweeten it?
Yep.
I'm pretty sure now less of an issue going meringue to cream as it would have been from cream to meringue, but we can tip that over Jamie's head, no trouble.
No, I don't think you can actually. I mean, look at, no.
Yeah, but if you do it quickly upside down.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What, like this?
Yeah, like that. But look how frothy that is compared to what it was. Pretty much there if you wanted a soft pour. If you're looking for a quenelle, another 10 thrusts. Yeah, I mean, that's there now, to the point where actually it's leaving marks.
So I feel like we've tested that. What we wanted to do was test it in environments where using a traditional hand whisk is a bit of a pain. Is it any better? So what are your thoughts having played around with it now?
I think it does whisk things quicker, but I think it gives you less control. So when you can only whisk from the bottom, I think is my biggest outtake from that.
Okay.
And following on from Jamie, therefore it's really good with relatively small amounts of stuff. It works really nicely. Like, it gets there really quickly without any effort.
The 10 circles on the whisk's head create the air which makes for extremely powerful whisking to make your mixes light and airy. It's dishwasher safe, useful for people with dexterity issues, and recommended by TV chef Rusty Lee. So boys, do you want to talk price?
Yeah.
What do you think this retails for?
Are we talking a special one-time show price of when it's always discounted and you have to buy like 4 for the price of 3 and all that kind of stuff?
Brought to you by JML.
£16.99.
I had £14.99 in my head.
But I imagine you could get 2 for 30 quid at Expo.
Ebbers, you're going to soil your pants with joy. These are £12.99, lower than both of your guesses. Are you flabbergasted? Are you blown away?
I wouldn't say flabbergasted, I'd say mildly impressed.
I'd say it's going to be a lot quicker than something like that. I think it's good. I think it works. I still don't need one because it is single use.
Question is, the Wizzy Whisk Pro, is it a whiskey purchase or does it make you whiz in your pants?
See, the last one did both and this one does neither. I would say it's a whiskey purchase. I'm not sure I need the Pro, maybe I just need the OG.
It errs towards the whiskey purchase. It does a job, but it just doesn't do all the jobs that you'd want a whisk to do.
Lovely. Oh, what fun. Lift the cloche on number 3. What have we got here?
It's one of those games, isn't it?
You've been to the Science Museum recently, haven't you?
Yeah.
I love how much that's tickled Emma. And his pickle.
I'm staying quiet because I was targeted on Instagram not too long ago by an ad for this, so I think I know.
It has a very specific function for a very specific thing that happens.
And it's used that way up.
Ebbers knows what it is.
It feels like it could be some form of corkscrew, but
Ah, yes, some form of corkscrew, but I think it's for the smoother nut butters in your life.
100% correct, Ebbers. This is the nut butt.
That was it, now I don't know.
Mixing natural nut butters mess-free. At Nutbutt, we designed a stirrer that mixes natural nut butters efficiently by blending the nuts together with their oils. This is particularly useful when you buy a jar of nut butter, which has separated and the oil sits on the top for stirring 360 and the equivalent upwards to mix the oils back with the butter.
Amazing. So this is for people that don't own spoons.
Well, actually,
No, I think
from having had this problem, you put the spoon in, think about it, and the only surface area of the spoon that mixes is at the bottom. What you end up doing is just dipping a long, thin piece of metal and rotating it in 3/4 of the jar.
I don't think I've ever had this problem with nut butter, but I have had it with seed pastes like tahini, and you get that separation where the bottom it's really thick and at the top it's very liquidy.
Whether or not it requires a specific nut butt to fix, we're about to find out.
But look, even in this brand new jar, see? I mean, that size isn't going to fit in that jar, but that's the problem. You do not want that on your toast. So that's too thin, and down here is too thick.
Okay.
Pop your nut butt in.
So you kind of, it churns it.
It churns it. What I think is genius about this is it's a piece of metal that someone has branded to sell you at a price.
Yeah.
And then that gets stuck on there, and you know what? It's really difficult to get off unless you got this.
No way.
As single-use items go for a very specific thing, I'm not sure there's many things more effective
than a nut butt.
It's cleaned your nut butt.
Okay, thoughts?
Can I have a spoon, please? Now, I would say this is a bigger jar. Probably going to use a bigger spoon.
Fair enough.
It does a similar job. The problem with the separation of something like even tahini is how solid the bottom is.
Yeah. Don't lean back like that.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. That is hard. I will agree with you that is hard.
And before I churned this was probably also a little on the hard.
Hey, Jay, how are you going to clean that spoon?
Well, now that is the thing that I think is genius about the nut butt.
This was advertised to me. As a foodie, I imagine I follow enough food accounts that they thought I am their target market.
Or you've just been searching butt.
I chuckled to myself because it was called a nut butt, and I thought that's the kind of thing we should probably do on the show, and then I forgot about it until this moment.
The little cardi thing is a bit that really makes it clever for me, and I can see it does work. It's just another single-use thing to have in the kitchen.
Would you like to have a guess at the price?
$6.99.
Well, it comes with a little cardi thing, doesn't it? I think that's going to add another £3. I think it's £9.99.
£13. So the nut butt. Is it nut to be missed or the butt of the joke?
Pretty good. I remember seeing it with its name, and I have to be honest, I scrolled on by. So it's the butt of the joke.
It's the butt of the joke.
But it works so well in two different ways. Fine, we can agree to disagree. Let's move on to number 4 and our final gadget. Lift the cloche on number 4. I'm really hoping that this is brilliant.
That is not a toaster.
Okay, we can work this out, Jay. We can work this out. It's a cylinder which I imagine spins and or gets hot. We could cook things on the inside or outside of it.
It feels like it rolls off this way then, because you've got like a printer out tray.
Any guesses, boys?
Is it an automatic pancake maker?
Ish, but a little bit more specific.
American pancakes. Crepes.
This is the Evo Chef Dosa maker.
Oh! Oh, okay,
So-
right.
Dosas being the thin, crispy, savoury crepe style dish from India.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ebbers, we sent you to Hoppers to learn how to make them in an hour.
All
and
about a gentle, careful, controlled movement with a little flat-bottomed ladle across a plancher. Very difficult to replicate at home without that plancher set up.
Until today! So India's greatest dish made easy with the automatic dosa maker. Simply add dosa batter into the batter tank. EvoChef Dosa Maker will print sheets of fresh dosas anywhere, anytime with anyone. Would you like to give it a go?
Yes, I really would.
I'm still quite confused by it, but yes.
So we have some pre-made dosa batter.
Have you ever bought batter in a bag?
So it's fermented, made of fermented rice and urad dal. And I think it has some spicing in there as well. So fill up your batter into the tank up until the fill line. On the front there's a panel and an on button at the bottom of the front. Hold that for 3 seconds and then you can choose your cooking time, the number of dosa you'd like this to print and the thickness.
Middle timing, 80 seconds.
Yeah.
And we're going to print 2.
It'll now take 3 to 5 minutes to preheat.
So while we're waiting for this to heat up, a couple of things. It's not...
We're off, Ebbers.
Hold that thought. It's doing a thing. I don't understand how it gets it from here to lift the... It's literally printing.
Now cooking.
I mean, I've heard of like 3D printers for food, but that's essentially what this is.
It's peeling away.
Yeah, now it's peeling away this side, which obviously was 30 seconds after your side.
Yeah. Here we go, here we go, here we go.
It's now going to make sure it's back up to the correct temperature, and then it's going to, you just leave it. You just leave it to its thing. Holds it there. It is stringy and kind of stretchy enough, and then a clean break. And it honestly,
That is so clever.
just flops it on top of the last one. I have to be honest, Mike, you have outdone yourself with this gadget.
Yeah, but it wasn't me. I can't take any credit.
I selected 3!
It obviously thinks it's hot enough this time.
Would you like to try your dosa with some wonderful South Indian dishes?
Yes, please.
So here you have a coconut chutney using fresh ground coconut, garlic, ginger, curry leaves, red chilli and mustard seeds, aloo masala, so spiced mashed potatoes, and sambar, a thin lentil and veg soup.
You do you.
Thank you.
And you just use your dosa to mop up all of that deliciousness.
Cheers.
Cheers.
This is sensational.
And idiot-proof.
Oh my goodness.
I know you can make the dosa batter from scratch, obviously, but how easy is it to get hold of the pre-made stuff in the UK?
The dry stuff's really easy. You just mix it with water. Most supermarkets have it, even in the world food aisle. I think to get the wet stuff, pre-batter, you might have to go to an Indian shop. It's just mesmerising.
Boys, I hate to interrupt your fun, but let's talk price.
The equivalent of £180.
I had 200 in my head.
Okay, we paid 13,999 rupees.
Uh-huh.
Which is £132.35. It's astounding how smartly some mechanical technology has been put together and the result that produces.
And yet it's so simple.
Yeah, exactly. I guess to summarise, guys, when you're walking home this evening and you think back on the EvoChef Dosa Maker, are you thinking, those are really good? Or they could be better?
Dosa really, really, really good.
That's really good.
Well, over to you guys. What did you think? Comment down below what you thought of all of those gadgets, whether you thought they were great or maybe rubbish, and keep suggesting other things like this for us to get into the studio and try ourselves. These are the best videos to film and hopefully for you to watch, so also give it a like.